Hello everyone! Today we are going to be painting this simple tomato and I'm going to be showing you how to create these realistic watermarks. Let's get into it! As a lot of you have asked for tutorials again, I will be back to creating them on a weekly basis, and this week I'm starting off easy. As usual, I will be using the Sublime Watercolor pack and I'm using the wood canvas from the pack. Everything will be linked below. I've done a simple sketch that you can download and use, so let's go ahead and insert that. And so here is the sketch. Let's make a new layer so that we can start to color. I've developed a color palette as well, so you can download that. And let's start off with this color on the very left. And we're going to be using the bold rough brush. And we can start to color the center of the tomato here. To make it look authentic, we're not going to be coloring the entire tomato with this color. We're going to use a variety of different colors to make it look more realistic. Real watercolor tends to have different shades of the same color, so we're going to be using different shades of this reddish orangey color, and I have saved all of those colors for you in the color palette. So as you can see, I'm just coloring parts of the tomato here. Now let's grab this color right here. It's like a salmon pink, and I'm just going to fill in the areas that are kind of left out, so kind of near the edges. After that, let's select this third one right here, and then we can continue coloring the areas that have not been filled in. Eventually you will fill all of those areas in using different shades of red. So you're going to get more bolder and bolder, as you can see here. And once you're done, you can use the basic blender, and you'll want to blend out all of these brush strokes. Some of you have been asking how to maintain some of these brush strokes while using the basic blender, and I would say that the key is to blend really gently, only in selected areas, to reserve some of the brush strokes that you are wanting to keep. Once you're done blending, we're going to grab the lightest color here on the left, and we're going to use the light rough edge brush. And I'm just going to add a few strokes here and there. This brush is mainly used to add brush strokes to existing artwork, so here I'm just going to add a bit more on top of what we've already colored, just to add a bit more texture, like watercolor texture and watercolor brush marks. You don't have to add this in if you don't want your artwork to be too textured. If you want your artwork to look smooth, then you don't have to add this step in. Again, you can use the basic blender to smooth out some of these brush strokes as well. And then once you're done, you're going to add a new layer and make it a clipping mask layer. And we're going to select this dark orange here and use the bloom number 1 stamp and just stamp along the top. That was way too big, so let's kind of keep it down here. And I'm just going to stamp along the top and add a bit more color on the top and on the bottom as well, and on the side. And then we're going to select this dark red and stamp along the bottom here. You can also try using the bloom number 3 stamp to add some watermarks. It's important to not overdo it, because if there are too many watermarks, it kind of makes it look less realistic. So you can just test it out here and there. I'm just going to select a very dark red now and try to use it along the bottom. I think it might be best if I size it down and just use it here and there along the stem. Now let's make a new layer and color the stem. Let's grab this light green and we're going to go back to the bold rough brush again and color the entire stem with this color. Once you're done with that first layer, you're going to grab the light rough edge brush and let's grab this green here, and we're just going to add some color here and there. And this brush is really great for adding extra brush strokes and making it look realistic. Because these brush strokes look realistic, we're not going to be blending them out. We're going to keep on adding more brush strokes using different shades of green. So I'm just using a darker green now, and you can just move up the chain just like how I did here. You can zoom in and out to see how it looks like overall, and you can just add more strokes to make it look more realistic. And once you're done, you'll make a new layer on top and make that a clipping mask. And I'm going to be using the Bloom No. 1 stamp and adding a bit more color to the stem. So make sure that it looks realistic, because when you add it to the wrong areas, like in the middle of that leaf there, it doesn't look right. So I'm just going to have to keep on testing it out and see if it looks good or bad. And that is it for this simple tutorial. I hope that I was able to go over something new and useful for everyone. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.